Off. See, it says record
Up on top,
right? And then push it again.
Okay, ready? Okay, Lisa.
New Year's.
All right, Lisa, we're ready.
Are you okay with it, honey?
Are we gonna have a head wedding?
Remember that famous news and everything? Lisa and I decided to write a little play for this evening, and we were hoping the news would come out good. We didn't know what we'd do with the play if the news was not so good. But anyway, figured that I'd kind of review my life yet again. And this is the cast of characters. There's some minor changes here. Alice and Ira didn't come on time. So
What else is new?
they didn't get the part, and Stanley Mary was supposed to come late, but they came earlier. So what happened is that Stanley is going to be Sidney Zimmerberg.
Alice, we're leaving.
And Mary is going to be, that's what Stanley said.
I told him.
And Mary is going to be Eva Zimmerberg, my mother, except that we split the part, you know, in a Solomon kind of decision. Mary is going to be Alice Diamond in the first scene.
No, Eve Zimmerberg.
I mean Eva Zimmerberg, right. And Alice Diamond is
be.
Alice, that was not a kind slip. I got news for you.
Trust me, I'm there.
That's right.
You're gonna make a young Eva Zimmerman.
That is correct. That is correct. Mary will be the young Eva Zimmerberg.
I can see why you keep bringing up your life again and again.
You'll see why. And Alice is going to be the mature Eva Zimmerberg.
She's gonna be the demented Eva
Yeah,
Zimmerberg.
that's right. And Ira is not going to have a part because we felt that his ego was strong and he could handle it. So we're going to begin, and there will be some pauses sometimes between scenes, so bear with us. Okay, we begin with our well, excuse me, last thing. The form of this, Owen Reddick will explain it, but we begin with a historical narration. Please.
You starting?
Bravo,
Yeah,
bravo.
that's right.
All right.
All right.
What is the first pause? Sheldon Martin Zimmerberg was born in New York City, February 7th, 1943. His grandparents and his parents came from Lubomel, a small shtetl in eastern Poland. His mother, Ava, came to New York in 1922 at age 13 with her mother, sister, and 3 brothers, joining her father who had come 3 years earlier. Ava was known as a sweet but shy girl who literally hid behind her mother's skirt when visitors came. When her father died in 1926, however, she and her siblings, Edith, Sam, Jack, and Irving, all dropped out of school and went to work. Meanwhile, Sheldon's father, Sidney, was in Lubomel. As the Nazis grew in power in nearby Germany, he felt certain Hitler would invade Poland. Sidney grew more and more desperate to flee. Orphaned at age 13, the youngest of 6 brothers, he was a timid man, pessimistic about his prospects. He wrote letter after letter to contacts in America, asking them to help him emigrate. The bachelor among his brothers, he was the only one who could possibly hope to leave. In retrospect, he was right to be worried. His 6 brothers were killed in the Holocaust. Most of Sidney's many letters went unanswered, except those to his cousin Julius Zim, an eccentric man who had emigrated to America years earlier. Very successful as a fur coat dealer, Julius had become known as the Leopard King.
It's true, it's true.
Julius assured Sidney again and again that he would find a way out. Finally, in 1936, he did. Julius approached Ava's mother, a notorious yenta, and offered a sum of money if Ava would marry Sidney. Mysteriously, Ava, who hadn't seen Sidney since they were 11 or 12, transcended her shyness, boarded a boat for Poland, and married Sidney. A month later, she returned to New York and waited a year for him to get a visa and join her.
All right. Way to historically narrate. Way to historically narrate. I love to go all high.
Pauses.
Very good, Dennis, very good. Wonderful, you're in.
Love 'em.
Well,
Is it, did it say settle or shuttle?
Hey, catch us.
Settle, what did you say?
Quiet in the back.
Not yet.
Okay, make noise and stuff.
no noise from the peanut gallery, please.
We see little tangos. Oh, in. Oh, oh, oh. Da 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 da.
You'll start reading.
My name is Ralph Edwards. Alyosha Zim, you are queen for a day. No. Wrong show. Wrong show. Alyosha Zim,
This is a week of revelations.
I've carefully reviewed this manuscript, and if we hadn't gotten the genetic news, you would be very worried about the diagnosis. I can tell. Okay. Alyosha Zim, out from the shadows into the light. This is your life, a work in progress. It was good that Eva could save Sydney's life, but then things got very bad. Eva had 4 pregnancies and they all ended badly. A stillborn baby, an anencephalic baby, 2 miscarriages. We're not pulling any punches here.
I would so.
You're wondering how all of this can possibly be humorous? And then Sheldon was born. Here she is, a voice from the past to tell us about it.
I'm here to tell you.
Come on, come on, come on.
No, I'm off stage.
Oh,
She's on stage.
I'm
Talk
here
loud.
to tell you it wasn't easy. I wanted a child, and the doctor said, don't try again. And Sydney, he was a little timid.
Yeah.
I said, I wouldn't be happy if we don't have a child. And then Sheldon was born. My God, did he make us happy.
He was adorable. His first words
Complete with
were,
a beard.
his first words were, Babo. Babo, the detergent. We lived in a small apartment, and the train would go by, and whenever it did, he would say,
Babo.
Could you go over that again? Do we have an instant replay of that?
Then each weekend, we would take him to Brooklyn's botanical gardens.
Everyone would come over and say how beautiful he was and how smart. They could tell from his face.
With that beard.
Once, a professional photographer came over and asked permission to take his picture. It was entered in the New York Daily Mirror Beautiful Baby Contest, and he won honorable mention. And since that time, he's
We
been
do a wave?
mentioned only honorably, as far as I know.
Very nice internal reference there.
Very well done.
These were the halcyon years for the Zimmerberg family. The first 2.5 years of Sheldon's life. Then Sheldon's brother Harold was born, and boom, the floor caved in again. Eva went into a tailspin, a psychotic depression that was the first episode in her manic depressive illness. As the years went on, the family responded differently. Sydney preferred Eva when she was depressed. Because she didn't call him 15 times a day at the grocery store, or come home with 20 pairs of shoes he'd have to return. Sheldon and Harold were frightened by the depressions and tilted towards the mania, though not without some of their own doubts.
Oh no. What are you doing?
That's a little cleaning.
Ma, it's 3 in the morning.
It's the best time to get something done if you Bobbing along.
I'm tired.
Come on, live and be happy. I'm just a kid again, what I did again. Singing a song when the red, red robin comes pop, pop, popping along.
Oh, Sandy.
Stop laughing. I'm secretly mad.
I know.
I'm really glad you guys came. I'm really glad you guys came.
Sheldon manages by steadfastly turning his attention away from home. He plays basketball for the BPO Elks,
Right.
rides his bicycle every day after school to Sylvia's house, develops his skill at gin rummy, and joins his Uncle Jack at the racetrack.
May he rest in peace.
At Columbia, various and sundry unnamed incorrigibles. I didn't see this in there. Contribute to his transformation from sarcastic talking head to wine, women, and songs.
Yeah,
Good, blame your friends.
right.
The party eventually ends, however, and he needs to figure out what to do with his life. He conducts a vocational assessment of himself on the beach at Key West and determines that he should not go to English graduate school, but instead should be a doctor.
Right.
Wow.
He hitchhikes to Europe for 8 months
Always a good first step.
That's a good hitchhike. Took a long time.
and then heads to California and Stanford. Europe, however, has now infiltrated his psyche.
Do you remember how much fun we had to have a little fatty?
Oh my God, it can't be.
But it is. Direct from Kogaland environs of Saint-Tropez after a 3,000-mile trip across the USA on her motorcycle, Anne-Marie Boursiac, your first girlfriend at Stanford.
Oh, fatty, tell them about the tricks you used to play on me.
Well, like when we drove that driveway Mercedes across the country, the one with the spritzer button on the floor, and the dust covered the windshield when we drove across the painted desert, and I hit the button with my foot, and you didn't see it, and the water sprayed across the windshield.
And I said, fatty, how did you do that? How did you make the water spray?
And I said, I don't know, maybe you did something. What were you doing when the water sprayed?
I was taking some dust off my sweater.
Did you happen to touch your breast, perhaps?
Perhaps maybe I did. Yes, I think so.
Well, that was it, I'm sure. Try it again.
Oh, Fatty, it spritzed again. It's like magic.
While Sheldon was doing the older brother doctor trick, Harold completed 4 years at Harvard, where he submitted a novel as his senior thesis, then set out for what was to become a lifelong search for the Holy Grail. His early travels, Harold's that is, took him to India in search of the venerable Meher Baba, great guru who had not spoken in nearly 30 years. However, just as Harold, in the process of changing his name to Joshua, was trying to seek an audience with Baba, the Great One dropped his body. In other words, he died. Joshua returned to Europe, then eventually, after more than a year, to New York. Here tonight, to help us remember that time, a great favorite of Sheldon and Harold, their Aunt Rhoda and Uncle Jack.
Yeah.
anyone smarter than him. His brother was smart, but Harold was smarter.
I don't know what he saw in Buddhism, Shoudism. He was raised a Jew. He should have stayed a Jew.
That's how it is with kids these days. They don't listen.
Never mind, Rhoda. Tell the story. They don't have to have all the time in the world.
Everybody said Harry did it. He was such a nice boy, that Harold Jack, and I loved him like he was our own son. Sheldon too. We loved him like he was our own son. Harold came back from India and he came to see us because he loved his Uncle Jack. He always loved his Uncle Jack. And I opened the door for him and I said, I'm so sorry. I heard your friend died.
So Harold says, what do you mean my friend died?
So I said, I read it in the paper. Your good friend Bobo, Mayor Bobo. Mayor Bobo died.
Oh, God. Some Hindu guru.
The guru guy.
Mayor Bobo.
Harold, Joshua nay Harold, is of course worth an entire evening of his own. He unfortunately inherited the scourge and chose to exit in his own inimitable fashion in 1985. Alyosha met Helena, or Holly as she was known then, at Stanford in 1966. They married in 1970 and made their way to Berkeley. Two wonderful kids, Gabriella and Jacob, came along, but alas, the divorce plagues of the 60s and 70s that afflicted many couples struck them. Here is the unexpurgated version.
Oh, no.
Bring. It's Owen. It's Owen. He's suggesting we go to Chez Panisse tonight.
Why would we want to go to Chez Panisse to eat dead food?
It was downhill from there.
Holly, I have a confession to make. This week, I spent 48 straight hours playing backgammon and betting at the racetrack. I slept with 7 different women, and I haven't finished reading your novel.
You haven't finished reading my novel?
What about the other things? Don't you want to talk about these?
No. I think I'll find room for that in my next book. Would she like that? I don't know.
Alyosha nay Sheldon braced himself against the various onslaughts of the outside world by relying on his many friends. He had met Owen at Columbia in 1960. They reunited on the West Coast several years later and continued their misadventures. A few years ago, they found themselves in the south of France at Anne-Marie's house. After a dinner with several others and Fagio, Anne-Marie's Great Dane, Owen the following scene in the bedroom, middle of the night in Kogolan. Dinner has been a highly mixed affair. It's gone through everyone like a hot knife through butter. Eventually, the toilet in the downstairs apartment that Alyosha and I shared is overflowing. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, Alyosha's sleeping, and I'm mopping up.
No, God.
Oh my God! What are you doing, Owen?
What's the problem?
Owen, I thought you were my mother.
Alyosha, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If I were your mother, I'd be lighting fires.
Owen, that was in bad times, times she will clean.
Alyosha, aside from your family and a few friends, I'm the only person around here who has met your mother.
Oh, and you don't have any family. I'm the only person alive who has met your mother.
Alyosha, I'll tell you what, if you don't say anything, I won't say anything. Well, as Alyosha might say, life is short. Or maybe in the spirit of tonight, as he also might say, maybe it's not. Short or long, little by little, Alyosha found true happiness with Lisa, also known as Fluffy. Also known as Fluffy. Also known as Fluffy. Lisa took Gabby and Jake in under long rabbit ears and turned the Van Zim household into a home. It wasn't easy, but eventually everything came to glow in domestic bliss, and it becomes a household that everyone wants to visit and everyone spends time in.
Fuzzy, we're late. Fuzzy? Fuzzy, we're late. Alyosha? Sheldon?
Okay, are you ready?
Am I? Wait a minute, are those the shoes you're gonna wear?
What's the matter with them?
Well, for one thing, it's a dance party, and it's supposed to be semi-formal.
Well, they're black, aren't they?
What about those nice Italian shoes you bought in Napa?
You mean the ones you forced me to buy?
Yes. Yeah, and the court took your old ones to the back where they performed a mercy killing.
I love those shoes. Okay, you're right, I'll put the other ones on. I'll be right back.
Oh, no.
Okay, now you're talking. Looking good, honey. Looking good.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Wait a minute, you got something on your...
What's the matter? I'm okay, I'm all right. What's the matter? What are you
Before you learn the French.
Yes.
Why are you polishing me? I'm newly genetically improved.
You know, you're right. Ain't nothing cleaner than squeaky clean jeans.
Let's go dancing, girl.
All right.
All right. Author.
How many of us know even what our jeans look like?
I didn't even get it.
That's why we wore
jeans.
That's why we wore
Get it.
jeans tonight.
Got it, but I didn't get it.
Now you got it. Now
Put the package together on the Broadway.
I mean, no chromosomes, no genation, nothing, huh?
You mean they didn't take your
was
genome,
not-
your genome and project it on the wall, and there was a picture of Fuzzy on the wall?
They know where the chromosome is. I think it's chromosome 4. They know the gene location on the chromosome, and they know. I mean, these are all things they can tell you. I don't know what the electron microscopy or the test is that actually does it, but they know that there's a sequence.
Yeah.
Hey, play it in the races.
If there are only 19 horses in the race, I know what to do.
Well, play the one in the 9.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And the 8, and the both
Anything
9s and a
that-
1.
anything that can
And all the